Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. For today's video, I'm going to be having a play around with some brand new makeup from e.l.f. Cosmetics. We're going to be trying out some bits from the brand new Cookies and Dreams collection, which just came out last week. And just like their Mint Melt collection last year, as soon as I saw the reveal, I had to have it. I loved the way it looked. It just spoke to me. It really did. I mean, it's got blue in it. I love the color blue. I know you can't tell right now because I look very beige, but I ordered some bits and I'm very, very excited to play with them. Now, I wish I could tell you guys that we're going to be having a play with the entire collection today, but unfortunately, when I put everything in my basket, it came to quite a bit of money. So I have got a selection of 6 items in here today. When I tell you it was really hard to pick the ones that I wanted, I was agonizing over this for a good half an hour, but I got there eventually, and we're going to be giving them a go today and just seeing how they perform. So I placed my order last week directly on the e.l.f. website. I do believe that right now that is the only place you can get the collection in the UK, and I do believe that was also 1 day early access to the collection for being part of their beauty squad, which is their reward program. Yes, I am the type of person that just joins every single reward program out there, but it was worth it because I got 1 day early access and also a whole £1 off of my order. I know, massive mega bucks savings, so totally worth it in my opinion. The order was dispatched the next day and it arrived by the 22nd, so super speedy delivery. I was very, very impressed. I just want to give you a quick rundown of the collection to show you everything that's in it and tell you why I did or didn't pick up the items. So in total, we have 8 different items in the collection, starting off with the Cookies and Dreams No Budge eyeshadow. So those are the eyeshadow sticks and they came in 4 shades. And when I tell you, I really agonized over which shades to choose. I really did, because I wanted them all. At £5 each, they're not super expensive, but does anyone else remember when e.l.f. used to be ridiculously cheap? Like, I feel like at one point those would have been about £3 each. I would have liked to see maybe like a couple of bundles here and there, or maybe a bundle of the whole collection to bring the price down. I just ended up going for 2 of them. Then next is the Cookies and Dream lip glosses, which are £4 each and come in 3 shades. I went for 2 shades again because one of them was a black, and on my, you know, pasty skin, a black gloss seemed a little bit dangerous, especially if it's not like a really opaque formula. I just feel like it's just gonna make me look quite grey. Then we have the Cookies and Dream Just the Cream Putty Primer. So that is their original formula of the putty primer. It just comes in a different scent, and I didn't actually like the original putty primer. I just found that it personally made me more greasy and made my foundation slip and slide on my nose, so there was no point getting a product that I already know that I'm not gonna like and not gonna use. And just because I forgot to mention it, this one retails for £9, which is the same price as the normal one, so there's no price increase for it being part of a collection or anything. Then we have the Cookies and Dreams eyeshadow palette. This is an 8-pan palette, so rather than doing 2 4-pan palettes like they did last year, we just have 1, which I do quite like and also don't at the same time, because you guys know I've mentioned I really like it when brands stick to the same formats for everything, because then you can just put everything away tidily. So on the one hand, I don't like that it's in that format, but it is kind of more convenient than having the 2 smaller palettes, I will say that. And that one retails for £9. The last item that I did get in the collection is the Cookies and Dreams Cookie Crumble Lip Exfoliator. I do personally really like a lip scrub, especially at this time of year. My lips do get a bit drier, so they do need that extra step, and it's one of the few products where I do really like having a fragrance or a flavour in, because it's on your lips, so you want it to feel nice on there. So that was £5. We do also have a skincare product, and this is the Cookies and Dreams Milkshake Overnight Mask. Now this one I had originally put in my basket because it does sound quite fun and I kind of wanted to try it. I've never tried e.l.f. skincare before, but I've heard good things. But at the same time, it does feel quite gimmicky. And if I'm going to try some skincare from e.l.f., personally, I feel like I'd rather go for one of their more serious skincare products. Also, this is £9, and even though in the grand scheme of things that is not super expensive, I would have thought that this type of item from e.l.f. would be a little bit cheaper. So for the price, I decided it wasn't really worth the risk. And then finally, we have the single scoop sponge for £5 and the brush set for £9. The sponge did almost make it in my order. I feel like I've heard some good things about e.l.f. sponges, and the marble pattern on it is really cute. It's the same marble pattern that we find on the brushes. Again, £9 for 3 brushes. That doesn't seem really expensive, but I swear at one point they used to sell brushes for like £1, £2, like dirt cheap. They just don't look like a shape that I'm gonna get the most use out of, so it just didn't really feel worth it for me to get those as well. Alright, so that is it for the collection. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we're actually gonna get down to trying these products. Alright, here we are, all up close and personal. So the first item that I'm gonna try is gonna be the Cookie Crumble Lip Exfoliator. As we said, this one retails for £5 and you are getting 3 grams, I think it was, of product, and this is what it looks like. I'm getting vanilla, I'm getting, yeah, cookie dough, maybe a little bit of chocolate, so it does smell quite nice. So I'm not feeling much of the exfoliation so far. Okay, there we go. We've got it going, and that actually feels really, really fine. Like, it doesn't feel like really kind of big lumps of sugar almost running across your lips. Yeah, that feels quite nice. I actually quite like that. Doesn't feel overly aggressive or anything. Yeah. That tastes really nice. I can taste the cookies. I really like that. It's gonna be really hard not to try and eat it. So yeah, as far as I can tell, that gets a thumbs up from me. We'll see how it goes by the time we get to doing my lips. All right, next up, I'm gonna prime my eyes, and I'm gonna take my e.l.f. Putty Primer in the shade Rose. I think this is called. I'm just taking a Zoeva 142. Normally when I'm trying eyeshadow, I do always try to use the same primer, which is the P. Louise base. But because we have the eyeshadow sticks to try today, I don't want my base to be like too thick and creamy. I want something that's a little bit dry, so this is going to be a good one for that. I do want to mention though that I think I actually preferred using the Maybelline Colour Tattoo to this. I feel like sometimes when I use this one, like throughout the day I'll look at it and it looks a bit creasy, and I never felt that way with the Maybelline Colour Tattoo. So next up are the eyeshadow sticks. I went with, what are they called? Where is the name? Am I really, oh, they're just on the bottom. That was really easy to find. I went with Chill Zone, which is the blue, and then the other one is Cookie Lover, which is the brown. As I said, these are £5 each, and you're getting 1.45 grams of product. So this is the blue here. It's a really, really nice shade of blue. I'm quite excited to try it. I'm just gonna start popping it on. That is a really, really pretty shade. It's got a nice creamy texture. It's not fully opaque though. Like, I think I expected it to maybe be a little bit more bright. I'm gonna take it most of the way on my lid. And then I'm gonna take Cookie Lover on the outside. I'm gonna start on the lower lash line just to kind of create my shape. And then I'm gonna bring that in towards the blue. I think I would have liked this to be a slightly lighter shade. This is actually quite dark. I'm just gonna go back into the blue, try to work it over the top a little bit. And then what am I gonna take? A Zoeva 231, I think. I'm just gonna try and blend them in together, give them a smooth edge. Pigmentation isn't amazing. I definitely expected maybe a little bit more. It could also just be because we are going over cream products right now, so it's not going to be as intense as maybe if there was like nothing for it to mix in with underneath. I'm just going to bring it in underneath as well, and then come and add the blue at the front. That does seem to have a nice colour, so I think it is just literally that it's mixing into my primer underneath, which is fine. I just wanted to see what they'd look like as a coloured base. Next up, we're going to move into the eyeshadow palette, and as I said, this time it is an 8-pan rather than 2 4-pans. Initially when I saw the price, I was a little bit confused because normally when you get a bigger palette, it works out cheaper than smaller palettes, but in this case, this one was £9 and the Mint Melt ones were £4 each last year, so I was curious as to why we were paying more for the bigger palette. However, this one does turn out to be a really, really good deal because when you look at the weight, you're actually getting 17 grams in this one as opposed to just 4.5 grams in each of the smaller palettes. And yeah, it turns out they are quite a bit smaller. And when it comes to our cost per gram, we're only at 53p per gram, so very, very affordable. So you know what, actually, e.l.f., good on you on that one. I was quite impressed. So I'm just gonna take a Zoeva 222. I'm I'm just gonna kind of brush that over again, just make sure there's no creasing. And then I'm gonna take the matte blue over here. That is picking up really, really well. And what a gorgeous shade of blue. Ooh, that is packing on over the pencil really, really beautifully. Oh wow, I really like that. That is such a pretty shade of blue, and actually one that I feel like I didn't really have in my collection. So I'm very pleased to have this palette. Look at that. Okay, then next to that, I'm gonna take a Morphe M433 and I'm gonna go into the dark brown up here, and that is gonna go on the outer portion of the eye. Oh, that is a very nice brown. Really, really lovely. Okay, the color selection in here, really, really nice. I'm just covering all of my base, and I have to say I'm not really getting any fallout either. That's quite nice. I'm not being super, super precise at this stage. I'm just placing those colors and I'm bringing that on the underneath as well. All right, now I'm going to switch to a Morphe M514 and I'm going to take the lighter matte brown. Okay, that looks quite pigmented actually. I'm going to be quite careful with that, and I'm going to come in and blend. That's blending out really nicely. Really, really nicely. This just really doesn't feel like a lot of work so far. It's just giving me a really, really lovely smoky blend. I'm just bringing it upwards a bit, and I'm doing the same thing underneath. And then at the front, I'm gonna take a Morphe M456 this time. I'm just taking some more of the blue, and I'm gonna bring it up and really just soften that edge out. And then we do just still have a harsh edge in the middle where the two shades meet. So I think I'm gonna go into the darkest shade here, just on the same Morphe M456. That's actually picking up quite easily. I thought it might not pick up very well on a brush, but it seems okay. I'm gonna pop that in on a diagonal. Oh, that's actually quite dark. Have got a little bit of fallout unfortunately from that one, but that's fine. I'm gonna go back into the lighter blue now on the big brush. I'm gonna go back and forth between the two just to blend them in together. I do feel like maybe I'm having a few issues with my crease on this side, and I don't know if that's from the pencils or from the putty blush. As I said, I do have issues with that one sometimes. So then back into the darker blue. And then just a bit more of the brown on the outside, just to finish the blend. Just gonna come in on a small flat brush just to add more brown on the lower lash line. And then I'm just gonna use my blending brush again. And getting rid of that fallout is definitely gonna be annoying. Oh God, right, I am really bad at getting rid of fallout. I have just made such a mess. I literally have no idea how people just brush away fallout. I will have to go and clean that off camera. That is really, really annoying. We still need to do the front of the lower lash line, and we have a couple of more shades to try. I really want to go into this blue over here for the lower lash line. It looks really pretty. Pop that on at the front. It doesn't feel super, super sparkly. I feel like maybe the metallics from the Mint Melt collection last year felt a bit nicer. But I am just quickly going to try spraying my brush with some setting spray just for the other side. Okay, actually, I think that has made a difference. It's a very pretty shade of blue. I just feel like I was expecting a little bit more because the shades in the Mint Melt collection, the metallic shades, were just very, very creamy and really, really lovely to use. And then I'm really going to carefully take a little bit more of the dark blue and blend it in between that blue and the brown. Okay, my camera stopped recording and I have no idea when that happened, so hopefully that wasn't too long ago and we haven't missed out too much footage. I am finally just gonna go into the lightest blue, the lightest metallic on a Zoeva 231. That feels a little bit softer. That feels a bit more like the shades in the Mint Melt palette, and that's gonna go right at the front, and that actually looks like a very pretty shade. Oh, okay, yeah, I like how that looks. That is really pretty. Again, I'm just gonna try spraying it to see if that makes any difference. Oh, okay, I think that's just intensified it a little bit. Okay, big points for that eyeshadow. I love, love, love how it looks. And overall, I do really like how the eyeshadow is looking right now. I do feel like I need to grab a blending brush just for the under eye. I feel like something isn't sitting quite right here, just where my creases are. Okay, apart from the awful, awful fallout on this side, I haven't had to deal with anything quite that bad in a while. I really, really like how the eyeshadow is looking. Really happy with it. As I said, maybe the only issue is just the fact that this medium blue metallic isn't like wowing me. But other than that, I think that looks really nice. I really, really like it. I think the blender's really nice. Something isn't sitting quite right in my crease here, but as I said, that could be the base that I've used today. I would love to use it with the Maybelline Colour Tattoo and see if it sits any better. Could I get away with using that light shade as a brow highlight? I think I just about can. So that's just gonna be the lightest shade in the palette, the lightest metallic. I'm just gonna pop that on the brow bone. Ooh. That is actually quite nice. Could I get away with using that as a highlighter? Maybe. I'm just going to pop some blue eyeliner on my waterline. This is the Barry M High Vis eyeliner in the shade Caution. And then with my order, I finally picked up this glitter eyeshadow from e.l.f. as well. This is the shade Ocean Eyes. I've just been wanting this shade for a long, long time, and I just want to intensify that lower lash line a bit, just make it a bit more metallic, because right now it's kind of gotten lost. So I'm just going to take my Morphe M508. It's not quite as sparkly as I was hoping. Oh well. Slightly disappointing. I know that's not what we're reviewing today, but I just thought that would add a lot more glitter. Really hasn't, and I'm a little bit disappointed that I ended up buying that. Anyway, I'm just gonna go off camera. I'm gonna add some liner. I'm gonna do my brows, and I'm gonna try and fix this fallout, which, as you can see, oh, it's just so bad on both sides. I don't understand how other people can just remove fallout without making it worse. So I'm gonna go and try and fix it, and then I'll come back and we'll try out the lip glosses. All right, so I've just zoomed us out a little bit to go on to the next item. I have also tried to remove the fallout as best as I could, but I still have so much. Be really careful when using that dark blue, especially if you've already got your foundation on. I also did end up using the lightest eyeshadow that I used on my brow bone. I've used it as a highlighter, and it's actually really, really nice. It's just giving me similar vibes to Flash by Beauty Bay, which is one that I really love. So we have one final item to look at, and that is the glosses. So we're just gonna start by having a look at the state of my lips. I can definitely still feel the lip scrub on my lips, not so much the scrub particles. It actually just feels like a nice thick lip balm right now. So I'm just gonna get rid of the excess. They feel alright underneath, but I've definitely still got a bit of flaky skin over here. Maybe I didn't use the lip scrub enough or anything, but other than that, they feel pretty conditioned. So I'm quite happy with the lip scrub. I'll keep using it. So onto the glosses, and I have two shades over here. This one is Creme Cum True Creme. Oh, Creme Cum True. So it's like a milky white, but it's got the cookie particles in it. I don't know if you guys can see it or not on camera. And then the other one is Brain Freeze, and that's just a blue. That reminds me of one that was in the Mint Melt collection last year, just a plain green. This time these are just plain lip glosses. They're not actually plumping ones. So I think I'm just gonna try them both on. I'm gonna start with Brain Freeze. I mean, it just comes across as clear, doesn't it? Clear with maybe a little bit of a bluey tinge. Is it making my lips look a bit purple? Is it making me look a bit dead? Maybe it would be nice over a lipstick. I feel like just by itself, I mean, I never just wear a clear gloss by itself anyway, but I feel like it has a very, very slight cool tone tinge. Not as fun as it looked in the tube. It's also making me quite glad that I didn't purchase the black one now, because I feel like it would be not very opaque again. But we're now gonna see Creme Cum True. This isn't really a look, is it? Not a fan of the glosses in this one, I have to say. Why have I bought this milky gloss? It's doing nothing for me right now. I wouldn't wear it by itself. Let me find a lipstick and let's see how it sits on top of the lipstick, if it makes it like look any nicer or anything. All right, I am gonna go for the shade 180 Revolutionary from Maybelline. I've let it dry down, so I'm gonna go into Cream Come True. Ooh. Am I seeing some sparkles? It doesn't look sparkly in the tube. Let me add some more. Okay, I thought I could see some sparkles, but I think I'm wrong. I mean, it's like I've added a clear gloss over the top. Maybe it has like tone it down a tiny bit because of the milkiness in the gloss, but I don't really feel like it's made a visible difference. In terms of the gloss formula itself, it is very comfortable. It doesn't feel sticky at all. We've definitely got the same scent as the lip scrub, so at least we've got some consistency there. I'm a bit disappointed by the glosses. They just feel a bit boring. Again, really wish that they had been plumping glosses, because then at least I feel it would bring something to my collection. This, yeah, not really doing it for me, unfortunately. All right, guys, well, that wraps up today's video. I hope, as always, that you liked it. Definitely one of the most chaotic videos that we've had in a while. I feel like the year had started off too well with all the videos that I've done. The fallout, there was just a situation there. And there's still quite a bit left on my face. I wouldn't wear this makeup to go out or anything right now, because as all right as it looks from a distance on camera, up close, there's just blue everywhere. I've learnt my lesson on that one. I would definitely not use that eyeshadow before doing my foundation. So let's have a chat about the products. Let me give you my thoughts on them, and we're gonna start off with the lip scrub. I really enjoyed this one. The smell, the taste was nice. That's definitely always a big plus. I liked that the grains weren't too big, so it didn't feel really aggressive on my lips or anything, and then they didn't get dried out later on. It felt like a really nice conditioning lip balm. So probably one of the highlights of the collection for me. I'll keep on using this. I would say it made a pretty good first impression on me. Then next we have the eyeshadow sticks. I thought they worked really well to create a base for the shadow. I had no issues blending them out or anything, and I know that they didn't come across as super pigmented, but I feel like that's just because the color was mixing into the primer underneath. Just looking closely at my eyeshadow, I am definitely noticing a little bit of creasing in the middle, and that could possibly be due to the sticks being layered on top of the primer. So I'd love to try them with some other bases underneath, maybe no primer at all, and maybe give you guys a little bit of an update further on down the line. But yeah, for me, they were more of a success. I just wish they were a little bit cheaper, because then I'd get all of them. Then next is the eyeshadow palette. I would say that this one overall, pretty good first impression. I like the color scheme. I really like the light matte blue. It feels like a color that I don't really have in my collection at the moment. And overall, apart from the dark blue, which just gave us so much fallout, I did really enjoy using this one. I like the color scheme. I do wish maybe that the metallics were a little bit more intense, because I feel like they were in the Mint Melt palette, but I do have to say I like the format. I like the value for money. I think this is a good one for every day, just to add a pop of color but still have some nice neutral shades in there. And also, I can't believe how good this shade looks as a highlighter. Like, I'm genuinely quite impressed with that. So the eyeshadow palette for me is a win. And then finally we have these glosses, and I'm gonna say that if I had to do this all again, I wouldn't buy these. They're just not pigmented enough that you can see the color on the lips, which, yes, I guess makes them more wearable, but in that case you might as well get a clear gloss. And again, if they were plumping, I wouldn't mind, because at least I'd feel like they were doing something. The only redeeming thing about them for me is the fact that they are pretty comfortable, but I would give them a miss. Not worth it for me. So guys, I hope as always that you enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful. If you did, then please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of it. And if you haven't already, then do please make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye guys.